I think it's live now.
Good evening, my dear friends, my dear masters, my dear gods. Welcome to Patriji's Amruthotsavam, Sada Ananda Guru Utsavam. Welcome to 13th day of these celebrations, masters. First, I would like to offer my immense gratitude to Dr. Brahmarshi Pitamaha Patriji and Swarnamala Patri ma'am. Today, our special guest is Master Pushpa Pocham from Atlanta. Master Pushpa has been in this meditation since 2019. She tried Bhakti Marga and the other meditation practices before entering into PSSM. Her thirst for spirituality was answered in the form of Patri Sir's meeting in Atlanta when he visited United States, and that moment had changed her life. She is a certified meditation coach from PSSM Academy. She had conducted kids meditation sessions, 40-day meditation sessions. She is a speaker in JTTP programs and helps in organizing events locally like DMCs and the other events. She does conscious living and Swadhyaya challenges in PMC USA channel. She is also a very active member in Atlanta Pyramid Meditation Academy. So let us invite Pushpa to share her wisdom. Welcome to you, Pushpa.
Thank you, Anjali. It was very beautifully, put together. Thank you. Hello, masters. Welcome to our Patriji Amruthotsavam. So the concept of this, like Patri sir has given a lot of books. There are certain books like few are very pretty direct, like Anapanasati meditation or be a master, but there are certain books like Annamaya or Socrates. So when I took this book, right, it was very, very interesting, like how why Patri, what made Patri sir to write this book. So I will try to explain as much as possible, like what sir has thought about and what message that it has to convey to everyone. Let's learn about Socrates. So I think all of us has studied in our schooling who is Socrates, what he is about and what he is famous about, right? So we all know a little part of it. But what made a guru like Patri sir taking his life and what he wants us to learn from the life of Socrates. So before we go into the life story of the Socrates, let me explain so this book. My deepest gratitudes for bringing. This is the book you all can see. It's written in Telugu. I tried my level best to put together in English. So before actually going into the life of Socrates, the four words of what sir is talking is about. He is trying to throw some light on what is spirituality and what is materialism, right? So he tried to explain spirituality means in the context of spirit or on the soul, and what is materialism. So when you talk about materialism, it talks in the context of material world, right? So the spirituality is obtained when we practice meditation. So if we are not in a meditation and if we are not doing anything, that means we are in a materialistic world, like everything we see with our eyes, with our all five senses, right? So we obtain spirituality with the divya chakshu, with the third eye. But materialism will acquire or we obtain by all our five senses: eyes, ears, what we see, and what we heard and what we taught in our childhood, and how it become norms, or like the practices that we have been following. And we all think that, oh, money is very important, or like all aspects of like a job, like a basic needs, we are all in the in that particular cycle. So now, going to the politics. So spirituality is in the context of spirit, and materialism is in the context of all the societal norms. And what is politics? Politics is all about how the country is ruled, right? So why I am saying all this, there is a connection with Socrates. So we will also learn how do we connect these dots also. Politics is all about like how a country is ruled by one of the person who is being elected, like a president or like a prime minister, right? So all of the current politics is completely based on materialistic language. So materialistic knowledge, sorry. So materialistic knowledge is, acquired. Again, how do we acquire the materialistic knowledge? By all our five senses. What we see is what we believe. What we do not see is we are not believing anything. So because of that, it's a very limited knowledge. Because of that, there is a chaos like everywhere. So entirely, like, it is not bringing the actual truth. It is actually suppressing the truth. It's all built on asatya, not anasatya. So this materialism causes duality. It brings the differences between people, like, okay, you are different, I am different, your caste is different, my caste is different. It disconnects people by caste, by religion, either you're male or female, or you're young, I am old. But spirituality brings everyone together. It will connect a person to person, a family to family, a caste to caste, a country all together. So it also connects the human kingdom to the divine kingdom, plant kingdom, mineral kingdom. At the end, it also connects the intergalactic federation. So if we look at it this, so we understand how great the spirituality, and how like materialism is this and spirituality is such a ఎంతో ఉన్నతమైనది. It's very, very higher and superior thing. So in fact, like, spirituality shows a clear differentiation of what is truth and what is not truth. Materialism shows the limitedness, right? Whatever, if I am in Atlanta, like, all I see is like whatever is within my vicinity, or what is visible to my eyes. But spirituality talks about the infinity, right? Spirituality brings the real joy and happiness, and it also helps us trying to be a very natural. You're not like, because you're killing your ego, all the stuff, like you're purging all of the layers, layer by layer, like like an onion layers. You peel off everything, and whatever is your organically made, and that natural thing will be showing to everyone. So that's important. That's a greatness of spirituality compared to the, I mean, there is no comparison between spirituality and materialism. But again, there is also another concept. Both are not different, but we are not going there now. So now materialistic politics should become spiritual politics. Spirituality is bringing new age spirituality movement across, like in future. That is what PSSM movement is trying to do. As Lord Krishna said, yada yada hi dharmasya glanirvavati bharata abhyudhanam dharmasya tadatmanam srijanmyaham sambhavami yuge yuge. I mean, so he says, like, whenever dharma is completely, it's gone, that is when I take what do you call, avatar. So when he says I, here I means Satya. So you are actually the Satya is taking the birth. It is not a person. So the Satyam, నేను అంటే సత్యం, అధర్మం అనేది సత్యం మీద ఆధారపడి ఉంటుంది. సో సారీ, సో వాట్ హీ సేయింగ్ ఇస్, Adharma is on asatya and satyam is on dharma. So that is why dharma is very, very important. So this is all this is all 4 words of this book by Patri sir. So he is actually trying to connect how materialism has killed spirituality of spirituality in the form of Socrates. So let's go into some of the questions what Socrates was asking many people, right? So Socrates, before going to so life of Socrates, sorry, this session will take another 20 to 25 minutes. This is a very nice book, so I really wanted everyone to know the essence of it. So the spirituality, right? Like a great person like Rama or a Gautam Buddha or Arjuna, everybody, like at a one point they were struggling, in the sense like once Rama came back and he was very disappointed. He did not understand what is this life is all about, what is this that and all. And when Buddha is born, the Jyotisha, they were said like, okay, do not let any painful situations shown to him, because that would cause him, go to the different path. And even Arjuna was struggling when there was like all his everybody in front of him, like how do I kill? So everybody have this point that where it triggers, they understand what is actual spirituality, right? So in the similar way, Socrates got enlightened. He visited in Delphi a temple. There was one temple. So there was an oracle. An oracle is nothing but a Divyavani. One of the person was Ganachari. She was actually, she was actually channeling the Divyavani voice. So the Socrates go there and ask her, go there. Then she asked him, who are you? So he says, I am Socrates. And she asks, what do you want? He says, I am Socrates. All I know is I know nothing. So he just said, I know that I don't know nothing. So then that oracle says, okay, first go and find who you are. If you're saying you don't know who you, I mean, you don't know anything, nothing, that means you are a greatest person. That's when his quest starts, like that awakens him, and he starts asking questions to everybody in Athens. So he always used to say dialectic. He always used to say toti. Toti means like what, why, how, when, where. So all these sorry. So all these questions he used to ask anyone he finds on a street. So he asked questions like, hey, what is love? What is friendship? Do you think this country is democratic? And what is your opinion in democracy? So all these questions. So the main intent of him asking these questions is, the more you ask questions, the more you make other person realize what is going on. And that's when the enlightenment, like he is actually bringing the awareness of different aspects. So without these questions, there is no progress to humankind, no civilization, and no enlightenment. So among all the species, man is the only one who have the intellect, and thinking is his natural business. Thinking does not mean wasteful thoughts, but rational thoughts. So man is by nature is a political animal. So by nature, man is that's what Patri sir says, like man is a political animal. And then he also put some light on Socrates is a person who got the Western philosophy. So what is philosophy? So philosophy is made of 2 words. Philia means love. Sophia means wisdom. So it's like love for wisdom. It's in the Telugu or Sanskrit, it's called Gnana Sakti, your interest towards gaining a wisdom. So philosophy in Sanskrit, it's called Tattva Vichar. That means, Tat means Adi, and Tvam means Swabhava. That's a nature. That means um, the Swabhava of that. What is that? That means whatever you're trying to understand, right? So when we are all small, we have wondered, hey, where does the rain comes from? What is this thunder? And what is a rainbow? So parents used to say some way that kids understand, otherwise they'll say, hey, just shut up, that's it, the rain comes from up, we don't know. So that's how it was like. But when the kid grows, he would try to go and understand. For example, there is a leaf. Why leaf is green? Because a particle called chlorophyll, and it will create the food using sun for photosynthesis. All these things we have learned. This is the what part of it and why part of it, and it is a how part of it. So we understand all of this. So with and what Socrates is all about, trying to mindful and try get people wakeful of, do not following things blindly, but try to understand what is that tattva vichar. So he also says there are certain things that Rahu and Ketu, it's all made up stories, that there is no reality in all this, Grahan, that's what he says. Everything is a philosophy, because we try to learn about the essence, nature, how it works, how it happens. For example, if all arts are philosophy, I mean, if you understand the philosophy of art, for example, poetry, if we think of what is the useful of poetry, and why poetry, and what's the best poetry. So using poetry, there are many great poets like Rabindranath Tagore or Sri. They made big revolutions itself when there was a need, right? So every art has a philosophy. So whatever the science part, like we learned, like physics, chemistry, botany, zoology, everything. Earlier it used to call as a natural sciences. Everyone, so but there is a philosophy behind that, right? So everyone should start thinking deep about each aspect, and somebody has done a rigorous research, then they are called doctorate of philosophy, right? Again, they're saying doctorate of philosophy. So it's that's when, like, he talks about, like, try to understand who am I and where did I come from. So there are certain questions that Socrates used to ask people. The questions were like, who am I? Where did I come from? Where will I go from here? Did I exist before I born? Where will I go after I die? What is the one who is the one that resides inside of me? And what's the destination of life and meaning of life? After all, do they exist? I mean, do you think there is a meaning for the life? Do you think there is a destination for the life? And what all, do they, what's this world? How do we obtain wisdom related to this world? Is that by five sensories organs, or than by mind? Or by using mind, or by my, all five senses? Or if I do like this, is it a right wisdom? Is there an outer world, or it is created based on the ignorance? And he also asked, hey, is human is a free bird, or he's like a a toy, keelu bomma antar kada, or he's a toy that in someone's hands? Or what is justice and what is not? What is truth? What is, and what is satya, what is nitya, and what is good lifestyle? and which one is the right society, or which is a good political society. So his questions were based on social things and also spiritual things and also political things. So he is combining everything, and he was asking. So now let's go into the life story of Socrates. So many people have lived greatly, but only few have died greatly. Among that, Socrates is the one who has who has sacrificed his life. In Telugu, it's called Trunaprayanga Vala Jeevitalu Nodlestarantaru kada. So he just um, left it go very easily. So because he believed on one truth and he just stood for that one. Yes. So Socrates is born in 470 BC in Athens. Athens was in the, like, it was very highest, doing very good at that time in the Greek. And Athens was not so popular for Western philosophy until Socrates, has come. But it was a main kind of a headquarters for the business. In Greek, if you ask who is your rishis, they will answer Socrates, Plato, Aristotle. These are the three main pillars. Plato is a disciple of Socrates and Aristotle is a disciple of Plato. So Socrates' father was a sculptor, mother is a mother is a midwife. They are not so well off, but at the same time they are not a poor family. So he also learned the sculpture, but he did not find any interest in the sculpture. He studied geometry and geography, but he didn't find any interest in that too. So when he went to Delphi, so there was, like I mentioned earlier, right? There is an oracle who actually, talked about the inner Divyavani. So once he met her, and she gave a message that first you understand who you are, and so then that made him to why she said I am great, because I don't do anything and I don't know anything. So I have to find people and ask questions. So that's where he keep asking so many questions, and he was like a bee, or like he keeps stinging people. By stinging, he is trying to fill everyone's minds with the highest wisdom. By looks, he's very ugly person. He's very short. He got a big stomach. His eyes are very big, and his overall he was not a handsome. Overall he's like his overall body was not so great looking. So when he was walking in streets also, there are many educated folks try to follow him. Plato is one among them. He never bothered about tomorrow. He purposefully invited the poverty or being a poor. From the family standpoint also, he don't have a great wife. Of course, he was not working anything. He was like simply roaming. So because of that, even in Telugu it's called Gayali Gampa. So she was like pretty much bothering him in all aspects, for sure. And then he never did any job. It's not that he don't get a job. He was very well educated person, but he is afraid if he takes the government job, like he will also become a poverty. I mean, he become corrupted. So Socrates has always listened to his inner voice. So his inner voice used to talk to him. If he's doing good, the inner voice never used to say anything. But if he's doing anything bad, the inner voice will say, please don't do that. So the inner voice has always alerted him. As time passed, like he was in a samadhi state. So he was like, once he was going and suddenly something came into his mind, he was stuck. He was standing there for so many hours. That So people around him looked at with so much of astonishment. So he was like, he's not moving. So people around him like stayed there overall night. Uh, then morning he came into the senses. He just walked away without saying anything. So there are these kind of stuff. I mean, incident has happened. Out of all Socrates' life, Plato has written 4 dialogues about his life. One is Symposium. Symposium is about the feast, uh, like uh, like how his the questioning, and he used to answer what is love, what is friendship. Is the love is a love that happens between two people, or like or a mother or father loves the kids. But love out of love, there are so many things are happening. They are actually bringing their honesty, and there are many qualities, and that is called the beauty. And out of beauty, it's that's what it is, like a truth is coming. So that's how he defines love very beautifully. And I think that it's called like Satyam, Shivam, and Sundaram. So and then second one is apology. Apology, he answers to the crime. And third one is Crito. Crito was he was sentenced to the death. His disciple called Crito suggest him run away from the country. The fourth one is like Fido, that is the death sentence. So one of the reason people don't like him is that he criticized the Olympic guards that time. Like, so everybody thinks he is Nastic. He don't believe in God and all, but it's not that. He just believed God is only one. The way he's asking questions has moved political situations itself, because he has been asking whoever is going on the roads, like he'll catch hold of them and keep asking questions. Because of that, like social situations has changed. He is also tapping on the religious belief systems. So he always approached like how stupid the belief systems are. Also, he questions about the democracy. On top of the situation, in Athens also made people get angry. Athens and Sparta goes into the war. So I mean, the situations in Athens will change, and they go into the war with other country, and then Athens will last. So finally, like people and politicians hated him and wanted to get rid of him. He was claimed that he's encouraged to worship other gods, and he needs to be punished. The people who did reported on Socrates is um, the person who reported towards the Socrates is Anatis. So he is the new elected democratic leader. So the democratic leader, ironically, his son is a follower of Socrates. So that made him hate Socrates more, that his own son is not, believing him. So 500, so finally they charge him with, whatever. There were 500 prosecutors do the case. Out of 500, 280 people felt he needs to be punished, and 220 people felt he's good. So they decided, okay, because the majority of people 280, right? So they decided he should be killed by giving a poison called hemlock. The hemlock is the poison that is given to the Socrates. He said, but the Socrates said, he said only 30 people were other side. If those 30 people were at my side, then probably I should have, was not sentenced to the death. So when this happens, people ask him, because whenever there is a punishment, there is alternative things that he can either pay money to escape it, or he can go to a jail for certain years. But he says, no, I don't want to do either. The truth is, what I'm saying is truth, and I'm okay to, take the death sentence. That's how he agrees to, take the poison. And he also defines the death as very, very beautifully, like Chaitanya Rahitam Maina Sunyasthiti. So it's a completely a zero state. And also in the zero state, there there is a consciousness, like there is no consciousness, like, so he beautifully defines that. So out of all of that, there is lot many incidents, like people, the jailer who comes to give a the hemlock, he was like, so feels so sad about it, like he says, like, you are just doing your job, you can just go and give. So he happily takes it. And there was some and after this, like Plato and Aristotle, how they have written their stories also there. So we're not going there now. So out of this all, so what the beginning of the story talks about materialism and spirituality. So the leader who is actually ruling a country or a people, they should be spiritual. It is always the politics to be spiritual. Do you want it to be a confined? So if the politicians are in a materialistic world, all they're seeing is just basic needs, right? Like if they have a clothing, I have the housing, or I have my the health insurance, all those things. But beyond this, beyond this, like if a person who is ruling the country, he is an enlightened person, then it is definitely is going to change the face of the entire country. It is not just about survival. It is beyond the survival. So it if so that's what, like, Patri sir also, there was pyramid party in India. So the pyramid party is all about, bringing the change. So the party is not about, like, when they have the party, it's all about, they are going to each and every house, and they're giving a pamphlet saying that, okay, we are from this party, and we give the soul wisdom. It's all about that. How we have lost a great person like a Socrates, just because the people who were ruling the country were not enlightened persons. And in the previous incarnation, Patricia was like Benjamin Franklin, who has brought like lot of reformations in entire USA, in the Declaration of Independence. And he played a very key role in bringing the Statue of Liberty also to the New York. Whenever people who sees the Statue of Liberty, it is yeah, a wonder, one of the world's wonder. But at the same time, it brings you, the sense of liberty, that you have to live. Everybody have the right to speak, and right to to live. All he brought a wonderful things that bringing independence and liberty, where lot of countries were invaded by other folks. And independence is the basic right of anyone. And he's also a pure vegetarian. So if you have a dead animal in your plate, you cannot call yourself as an enlightened person. So he strictly promoted vegetarianism, because of like whenever if people are asking a lot of questions in the modern world, it's called Socrates method. So this is been whenever a new project or something is starting, everybody starts with what, when, how, all this um, methodologies has been introduced so many places. That's a true essence. And that's what I think we should all learn, how a leader should be an enlightened master, and all of us, or all whoever we are, that we should also go towards bringing that change and becoming the leaders, and becoming masters of our own life, at the same time trying to elect a person who is actually an enlightened person. That's how we will change the face. Thank you, masters. I think we can go into the meditation. Your eyes, sit comfortably. Adjust the music at your side. Take a deep breath. Slowly exhale. One more time. Take a deep breath. Slowly exhale. Relax your face. Relax your facial muscles. Relax your temple. Unclench your jaw. Relax your neck and shoulders. Relax your back. Relax your chest and abdomen. Completely relax your upper body. Relax your lower body. Observe your normal, natural, easy, soft breath. Last 3 minutes, masters. Slowly try to come back, my dear masters. Feel your body, feel your surroundings. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Gently rub both of your hands and keep it on your eyes for 2 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Thank you everyone. Such a deep meditation. Felt immense power. Thank you everyone. Just to summarize from the Socrates, everyone, we have to strengthen the connection with our inner self and try to have an approach to understand the behind the tattva, the tattvam about that, the philosophy, and politics, like I had a very, like, of late I've, having interest on politics. I did not understand why I'm so much, following the politics. But I think I understood the reason behind this is like it is never a bad thing because of what has happened in the past, but it's always a good thing that we all have to look forward and bringing a greater good for everyone. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Pushpa. Thank you for sharing the wisdom of Socrates. Yes, he really is an adventurous soul. I think, yeah, those are the higher dimension masters that comes to the earth, like, to create the awareness for us in the society, to awaken us, like, think which way you are living, which ways you are being controlled. How many which ways, like, you are being robbed, like conditioned in the society, robbed by different systems through the government. Yeah, we need to wake up, raise our voice. I know, I hope those situations will come very, very soon. Wake up, humans. Like, so many ETs are telling us that one. You're being conditioned so much and controlled. You are working in the controlled frequency, not the law-based society. Yeah, that's true. You reminded us once again. Thank you. Masters, anybody like to unmute? Sorry, like to discuss, you can unmute and share your thoughts.
Thank you, masters in the chat. Thank you, Sirisha. Thank you. I don't know the name. KHA Homeopathy. Thank you.
I think still everyone is in the meditation. No one is there to talk. We can end the session. Masters, thank you everyone for joining today's session. Tomorrow, we'll meet again one more master. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, masters.